Hey, love bugs. Welcome to this week where we are starting to look at measures of center. As a reminder, we're going to be covering this topic over the course of 2 weeks, building on our understanding and diving a little bit deeper. So if you have specific questions on this, please let me know because next week we're going to be looking at a similar topic a little bit more in depth. All right, and with that, let's get started. First thing that we need to do is put these in order numerically, which means smallest to biggest. So I have two number ones. I have two number threes. I have a number 4. I have a 7, 2 9s, and a 10. You want to know how many numbers you have in total. We're going to need that when we're doing our mean. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers in total. So starting with the median or the middle, I can take these numbers and I can go 1 on each side until I get my middle number, which is 4. What is the mean? To find the mean, I have to add up all of these numbers and I'm going to divide them by the amount of numbers that I have. So when I add these all up, I get 47, which then needs to be divided by 9 because I have 9 numbers, which gives me 5.2 repeating. What is the range? Range is the largest minus the smallest, so we have a range of 9. What is the mode? Mode meaning most often. We have 2 1s, we have 2 3s, and 2 9s, so all of them would be the mode. And then what would happen to the range if I replaced the 1s with 5s? So if I took out the 1s and made them 5s, now my smaller number would be 3. So I would have 10 minus 3 equals 7, so my range would go down by 2. All right, that is our first page. If you have questions, bring them with you to class. All right, next measure of center, starting with numerical order. I have 1.2. I have 1.3. I have 2.2. I have 4, 4.6, 6.3, 6.7, and 9.6. Count your numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in total. And I'm going to start with my median. If I have 8 numbers, that means that my middle is not going to be just 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. These are my median. So I have to combine them or I have to average them. So I would do 4 plus 4.6 divided by 2 gives me a median of 4.3. What is the mean? The mean is the average. So I'm going to total up my numbers. So I have 4, 9.6, 6.7. Doesn't matter if we add them up in order or if we add them up from the list. It's all going to be the same. When I do that, I get a total of 35.9, which I then have to divide by 8 because I have 8 numbers. And I get 4.4875. What is my range? My biggest number, lost the top there, is 9.6. My smallest is 1.2. So that is going to leave me with 8.4 as my range. What is the mode? This time there is no mode because none of them are repeated. What would happen to the median if the 4 were switched to a 5? So that means that my for my median, I would have 5 plus 4.6. If I did 5 plus 4.6, again, cutting it in half, I would have 4.8 then as my median or my middle. Questions on this page? Bring them with you to class. All right, measures of center. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. Putting them in order from smallest to biggest, I have 6, 16, 21, 21, 32, 33, 44, 46, 50. I want to know the middle half of the 9 would be the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Middle would be 32. What is the mean? I have to add these up. So I have 6 plus 16 plus 21 plus 21 plus 32, 33, 44, 46, and 50. I get a total of 269, which then needs to be divided by 9, which gives me 29.8 repeating. What is the range? 50 minus 6 equals 44. What is the mode? Which one happens most often? 21. That's the only one we have a double of. What would happen to the mean if the 6 was increased by 4? So instead of 6, we had 10. So taking our 269, adding an extra 4, dividing that by 9, our mean now would be 30.3 repeating. Questions on these? Go ahead and bring them with you to class. All right, loves, we have 2 graphs then. So this first graph you're using to answer the questions on page 4. Second graph you're using to answer the questions on page 5. So looking at these, our strawberries are 6. These are 4. These are 7, 10, 3, and 5. So all you have to do is go through, pull your numbers that way, and then come down here. What does the mean if I add them all together and divide? I have 5.8. My range for this one is 7. There's no mode because nothing repeats. The median or the middle is 5.5. What would happen to the mean if the oranges category changed from 3 to 7? It would increase by 6.5. And what would happen to the mode or the most often if 3 students chose a category different than watermelon? The mode would then be 7. Okay. Again, all of these questions are answered off of this graph. All right, this one, we're looking at the graph on 5, or to answer page 5. So we have an 8, a 4, a 5, a 7, a 4, and a 2. Using these details to answer this page. What is the mean? The mean is 5. What is the range? The range is 6. Most often for this one is 4. The middle is 4.5. What would happen to the range if a bear was not a category? The range would become 4. And what would happen to the median if the horse category was increased by 2? This would increase to 5.5. That brings us to the end of our work for this week. If you have questions, bring them to class.